Welcome back. It is Speakerboxx Studios, and I am Sean. To my far left is
Pat.
And next to him is
Gio.
And to my right is
Haley.
And we are Speakerboxx Studios.
Speakerboxx Studios.
Speakerboxx Studios.
Who was our wonderful planner of the day? We've got Sean.
So the news: A$AP Rocky, not guilty verdict.
Beat the case.
Don't Be Dumb coming out soon.
All right. Well, let's not get too excited now.
I mean, he said it's in the mixing and mastering phase.
So like 2 more years.
Yeah, because he pushed it back, but I think Rocky was in my top 20. So
I would be excited for another Rocky project.
What do we think about the new project?
I'm excited. Look,
I'm excited too.
I don't really know.
I think for me, it's like Rocky's not one of those guys like a Cardi or a Frank Ocean where he's like, I'm finally finna drop, guys, and just go off the wall. Like, if he's gonna drop, he'll drop when he's not when he says he's dropping, but like when he thinks.
At least around there.
Yeah.
Like there's not gonna be any crazy delays like a bunch of other artists.
And like I'm a big Rocky fan. I'm a Cardi fan. I'm not a big Cardi fan. I'm a big Rocky fan. So I mean, you know, I'm looking forward to anything new he's got to put out. The last thing that I heard from him that I did enjoy was I think it was the feature he did on Heroes and Supervillains or Heroes and Villains.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that feature was hard.
Go Take Off. Feel the Fire.
Yeah,
It was really good. Even though he wasn't the best part of that song, but he was still pretty great on it. It's always good to hear Rocky rap. So I mean, I'm excited for anything new Rocky, honestly.
Kendrick has he reached 1 million units sold for his GNX. So that's the first rap album ever sold for 1 million.
Is it like this of this year so far?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, come on. We did just talk about a bunch of albums that.
First rap album of the year
to reach it. Yeah, fuck you, Drake.
So that shit's already.
And guess what? That shitty ass Party Next Door album's not reaching a million. So fuck you.
Nope.
That GNX Trailblazer is not ending anytime soon.
No.
Still hot.
Remember when we said like 3 months ago that he was gonna drop another one?
We did see that.
Oh yeah, we just like around,
see
like,
Double
last time we
Deluxe.
recorded in like December, I think, right before everything. So yeah, when like it might happen, like if it does happen, we're just gonna be back here just fucking recording somehow.
Yeah. Loki, thank God, because you were not prepared. If
we were not ready for that shit, bro.
No, we were gonna just.
We were not ready for that shit.
We were gonna get together. It don't even matter. Fuck that shit.
We would have recorded that shit in the
We
fucking
would have had
Chili's.
2 people on the phone. We would have had Sean trying to search for Tupac and then Gio trying to search for Biggie. So yeah.
Nipsey Hussle is dropping a project collab with Bino. He previously did one with Bino in 2017. It was called No Pressure. It was a solid project. Well, I guess before he died, it was like 80% complete. So we're kind of just going to wrap that up. He said like by the summer it should drop. I don't know if we ever talked about how we felt about posthumous projects.
If a posthumous project was being created by the artist prior to their death, then I'm like all about it.
Yeah, like 80% complete. Yeah, that's basically.
I would say
fine.
to an extent, like maybe 1 project at most. Like other than
when people start dropping
like with Juice WRLD where they keep
with Juice is the first example I think of.
Because that's not even what he was working on. He's working on a whole different project.
Yeah, just fucking.
Like, what the fuck do you mean there's another Juice WRLD project?
It's like, this
Who's deciding this? I know it's not Juice WRLD.
This nigga's been dead for a while. Who the fuck is co-signing this? Like,
Became with Pop Smoke too.
Yeah, Pops.
Oh, they milked the fuck out of Pop.
I think
because that was his first album, so his first like actual. If I'm not mistaken, studio album.
Like,
They still milked it.
no, but they still milked it like crazy,
He threw
dude.
Pusha T on there and Kanye. I'm like,
Well, like, yeah.
I feel like it should low-key be forbidden to throw features on a posthumous.
because what if the artist didn't even like?
what if they were
Unless it's a
already
song
on
that
the
was
album
like,
to begin
if
with?
it was a
That's
song
different.
that they were actively working on a person
Yeah.
with, like, then yeah.
And
But like if motherfucker, if I die and you guys throw the baby on a fucking song,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I
I'd be
feel
like, you motherfuckers.
I feel like there's some situations where it works, but usually 90% of the time I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm singing a song after death, like, let's go.
Could
I'd
you
be like,
imagine?
I'd rise up from the dead. I'd be like, nah, that wouldn't fly with me.
Or like in case it was Juice WRLD and Eminem, but you know Juice WRLD was a big fan of Eminem, so
Yeah, like
things
it'd have to be
that
someone
kind
like
of-
where you know that the person would approve
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
I think the last posthumous album that was I really, really genuinely adored was Mac Miller's Circles. Insanely fucking well done posthumous album. But otherwise, like I can't, like, posthumous albums just don't really hit for me. I'm sure that this one with Nipsey is gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
If it was already 80% done, and
Because
like
his brother's is endorsing it, and his brother pretty much carries
Carries,
his vision.
yeah.
Black Sam, shout out Black Sam.
Well, yeah, especially because like the main thing he's focused on is just running his
The
business.
marathon, which I think he opened up the Marathon Burger in L.A. So shout out to that.
I feel like we don't really even talk about Nipsey a lot on this podcast.
You really
I don't think
don't.
we've ever talked
We
about.
I
never
think
talk
we,
about
like,
Nipsey.
which is crazy because but the Nipsey stuff wasn't like didn't feel that long ago. It was like,
No, 2019.
damn, it's really
really?
2019.
Yeah, it's been 6 years.
Fuck, it's been
Like,
6 years
Yeah.
since Nipsey died.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I thought that was like 2022, bro.
I was in high school. What the fuck?
yeah.
Bro, if Pat was in high school, damn, imagine how fucking
Yeah.
he was like fucking 32. Damn, rest in peace, Nips. It's funny, unrelated story. Well, semi-related story to Nipsey Hussle, which is gonna sound fucking terrible because like I really respect Nipsey, but I'm only bringing up this story because I heard the name Nipsey Hussle. I was in New York City yesterday celebrating Alex's birthday. We were getting down, literally like the first train station stop we were at, and this fucking guy, clearly talking to nobody, obviously off something, was like, yo, if y'all's is ready to start a fucking war, I'm here to start a fucking war. If y'all are ready to bring the static, I'm here to bring the fucking static. That's on Nipsey Hussle. And I walked down to the bottom. I turned to Alex. He's like, "This ain't even his fucking city, and he's putting it on Nipsey Hussle, bro. That's the wrong coast, man. I'm talking about Nipsey Hussle. We're in New York City. He's putting it on Nipsey in New York.
You could have said Biggie. You could have said Pun. You could have said anyone else on the East. Let him fuck Nipsey.
If you for the static,
As
as long as it's for
No,
a
don't
cause.
don't get me wrong, bro. I did not want to give him the
But,
smoke.
like, how strong the crack gotta be for you to be repping the wrong coast? Like, that's insane, dog. Like,
Shit, he had a flag hanging on the left side.
I was like, I mean, shit. I was like, look, man. Oh, is that I got to the bottom of that escalator. I turned around. I was like, fuck, rip Nipsey, I guess, man.
rest in peace.
Rip
Peace,
Nipsey.
Nipsey.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like this could be a good time for us to just kind of talk about how, posthumous albums, first of all, are like definitely hit or miss. I think closer on the miss side
Yeah.
than the hit side for
Typically,
me.
because you don't really have like the whole like.
It's not the artist's vision.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
a whole vision
It's
of
an
the
interpretation
behind
of what someone else thinks that artist would have wanted.
In business wise, it gets tricky because then the artist's family is in the picture. Because like even with like
Not
King
all-
Capital, oh no, I think majority of the time the artist family is like
You'd be surprised because like there's a good amount of artists that even after they've like passed, it like their masters doesn't go.
I know.
Kin. It's
I
owned
know
by
it's
the
old.
industry.
I know that's the problem. The artists don't own their masters.
We got to stop letting that shit happen, though. I think every artist needs to like really push to keep their masters as much as they possibly can.
I think this is gonna tie into our major topic, but I think because right now the game is getting young. Artists like all the OGs, they kind of know the business, but right now everyone's like either my age, maybe younger, so we don't really know the business like that. So we just getting played by the managers, and we kind of just signing
Corporations and the
whatever.
managers.
Fucking contracts.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I don't want to like jump into the main topic too early, but like, shouldn't the OGs be the ones guiding the young people into?
I mean,
To an extent,
I
that
think
is
I
the
think I
truth,
think some
yes.
of them do, but yes, I completely agree, and that's also going to tie into main topic. So
Any more news before we?
yeah, it's like two more. Dave East and Ransom dropped the album. I think everyone should check out. It's called The Final Call. It's meant to, essentially it kind of commemorates Malcolm X when he died February 21st, 1965. So I think the first track is called The Audubon Ballroom.
What was it, 70 years? No. 65? 60 years.
Yeah.
60-year anniversary.
So I think Davies dropped a video. I thought it was kind of weird. Basically, Davies and Ransom both took both rap. I think Davies rapped from the perspective of Malcolm X.
Okay.
And then Ransom kind of just, I think, had his own spin on it. But the video, it kind of had AI on Davies and Malcolm X. And I was like, I was like, all right, you kind of.
No.
I messed with the message, but this, you can't bring it was like a video.
When you're talking about.
Hold up, was it to add the
No,
image of
so
Malcolm
it was
X?
Malcolm X when he was holding the rifle and peeping out the window.
That
Davies kind of did the same thing. So you see Malcolm X, but it's as if AI. So it looked like Malcolm X was still alive, but kind of it just converted to Dave East doing the same thing. Like he dressed like Malcolm X. Yeah. But it just the AI didn't have the AI and Malcolm X's.
Chose the worst thing to say.
Yeah.
He didn't even need the AI for that.
I was so on board with it too.
And then the AI had like the family photo of Malcolm X's parents, and I was like, nah. I was like, now you're crossing the line. You're crossing the line. Man. I feel like you're crossing the line with that.
You can't put down the cup. What?
That's just you don't.
You can't use AI when you're talking about Malcolm X.
No, that's disrespectful.
That's so
disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful as fuck. I'm sorry, but
no,
you can't. Like I respect the message wholeheartedly, but you cross that line. Dog. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do that.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because you said, okay, so he's holding. So explain it again. So he was holding
Malcolm X.
Rifle?
He was holding a rifle. He's dressed like Malcolm X.
The thing is,
he's dressed like Malcolm X.
The photo of Malcolm X.
Okay.
But it wasn't the photo. It was as if Malcolm X was alive and he was moving, like he's looking out the window.
Oh, fuck that. No,
I know exactly it transitions into Dave East doing it. Yeah.
Nah.
You don't put AI on a photo of Malcolm X.
You could do something to the same effect for the most part without any AI.
Or you could have just been him dressed up like then people would know okay, it's
right.
Malcolm X. But the AI,
you have to show if you're representing and dedicating a project on the anniversary of someone as important as Malcolm X, you have to put in all the human effort that you can.
Yes.
To make it look as respectful as possible.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The second you give up that hard work and you're like, man, I fucking let the computer do it.
AI. Nah.
Yeah.
I think one person that did something not with AI, because y'all are mostly against it. It's I think Buddy. Yeah.
What did Buddy do?
On his song, his music video for his song Black 2, is when he dressed up as Malcolm and did a whole bunch of thematic things and whatnot. The whole thing is just about being black in America essentially, but the song and the music video encompasses him just doing shit and doing the whole window thing with Malcolm X and shit, but him actually doing it.
Yeah, that's
not.
That's what he should have done.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and then the last one is just that Vince Staples show got a season 2.
God fucking bless.
Yeah,
man.
I think I think Vince Staples by far is
funniest
the
guy in
most.
hip-hop.
Yes, that too,
100%.
but to just create a show like that, because I feel like when you have an artist like Vince Staples, especially a black artist, when you're creating a show, then you're probably expecting drugs, guns, or whatever. But he just delivered a black show that everybody can relate to. You don't have to be in the streets to relate to it. So
it's funny.
I loved it. It's funny.
It's I was never not entertained when I was watching
It connects with everybody. So
that first episode fucking hooked me in crazy, dude. The entire prison scene where you Vince Staples? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's great.
That
we needed some good news.
Yeah.
What's that damn movie that he had? The animated movie.
Vince Staples.
Yeah, motherfuckers. Yeah.
What? This is news to me.
Yeah, motherfuckers. I need another movie of this. I need.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Because this shit was like so. It was so random, but at the same time, it was just like the animation itself was just good, and it was like really funny. Because think of his show, but just like basically animated, and it has a whole bunch of like just animated shit going on. Like you're not gonna obviously see 90% of the fucking shit that going on like in real life. It's just like it was a cool concept that he did like in 2017, and then afterwards, thank God he dropped his live show, get another season. But I hope at some point in the future he fucking travels back to that fucking shit and just like makes another fucking movie or makes like something like similar to that. That shit was fucking.
Yeah, they slept on that one because I never even heard that until now.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
I think it should still be on Netflix. Oh well, now it's on Prime Video and YouTube apparently.
Oh, that subscription, I ain't paying for that. I find it for free. So
Critters hated that shit, but at the same time, it was a really decent movie, at least to me.
all right. So on the main topic, I'm gonna throw out a couple names here. Big U has now a Rico case involved with I think a 21, 23-year-old that was found dead in the desert. I think. K Flock, he was booked for a minute now. I think he has Rico charges. It was 5 charges. One of them being a Rico. I think he got past the murder charge. We didn't give it to him, but we're charging him for Rico. Lil Durk, murder for hire, and Yella Bezzy just got arrested and charged for the death of MO3. So my thing is, at what point do we look at rap and just say, you know what, I don't like what you're perpetuating. Is that perpetuating?
Perpetrating, yeah. Perpetrating, yeah.
All right, now you're gonna make me hot. So I'm trying not to curse. So you're gonna make me hot with that. Shut up.
Tweety Bird.
Tweety Bird. yo, you get that. Look. I'm about to get on your ass. Nah, see, now I'm hot. You old fucking bitch.
At what point do we say, hey, like?
No, hold on, because I want to say it right. How do you say it?
Perpetrating.
I can't do it.
Perpetrating, you're good.
Yeah, but at what point do we address that and be like, you know what? I don't like what you're doing. Like you're steering our kids or our listeners the wrong way, and just start holding them accountable. Or is it just like, where do we make that line for just being rap and it's just like, nah, you need to stop.
So that's where it's hard. That's a hard conversation to have.
This would be a deep conversation. Necessary.
The thing is, rap kind of already has. It's had this stigma, pretty much as long as it's existed.
Yeah.
That it's all about fucking gang banging and fucking drug doing and shooting up places and this, that, and the third, and it's really difficult to be somebody who invests time in that culture because, I think all 4 of us here can pretty easily name a person or a group of people or several groups of people who rap and are beyond that part of the culture that I'm going to say out front that usually white people want to kind of not imitate, but like kind of project that image of what rap and hip hop is to the artists.
I guess.
I think,
or just that, because no, you're definitely right on that part. So just that section of rap.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I think that there is absolutely still a part of a subsection of hip hop and rap culture where there is appeal in, gangbanging and appeal in all that shit that, in fucking Rico cases and
and if you look at it, it's just a lot of broken people with money now that never solves anything, especially if we're young. Like I think what Lil Durk said that King Von was fresh off a murder trial or something like that, and he signed him just off rip.
Lil Durk is like one of the, while we're on the topic, one of the biggest hypocrites in hip hop. Like,
Damn straight. How the fuck are you gonna make a
how are you
song?
gonna drop All My Life?
Yeah, all my life, and the next thing you know, you get fucking
And you're getting a
arrested,
you're
and
getting
then
a
you get
fucking
put
Rico.
in the book for damn near life. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
And then I think another thing.
Talking about how getting off the drugs and getting off the streets and changing my community saved my life.
Like,
And then like 3 weeks
my
later,
life.
3 weeks later, you're getting arrested and being put on trial for life.
Oh my life.
And another thing is like the producers too. Like, are we ever gonna have like a say in how their beats are being used in like this disrespectful manner? Because now you got an artist. Like, don't get me wrong, money. Okay, cool. But you're just fine with this artist using your beat to talk about someone else's son or father, or that's still family at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm not in the streets. I don't know how the streets go.
Oh well, like you're talking about like as in like bringing family into like.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about producers. You make these beats,
Yeah.
give them to the artist.
Yeah.
The artist go on these beats,
Yeah.
and then disrespect so and so. So I'm like, are you just cool with just having that? Just because it's a fire record, just because because someone being killed just sounds good on the beat. Lyrically, I'm gonna show you how I just killed this dude.
Hey.
Oh, it sounds fire.
Shit,
Lem-
I mean, if TK can do it, someone else can do it.
Yeah, of course, anybody can do
Yeah.
it. It's just the fact of just like, nah.
I mean, Mustard said that he never knew that. Mustard found out when everyone else did when Not Like Us came out. You know.
That's
fucking-
true. Yep.
Young
That's true.
Nudie does that shit too. Kind of.
What?
Doesn't like explicitly talk about the shit that he's done, but he implies it.
Yeah.
Does so like, yeah. It's like Young Nudie is like on the like damn near or like damn like the same level basically as like Bond because like the
I mean,
straight up killers.
he's not, because you clearly know about it.
Well, Young Nudie.
Yeah, he must not be low if there's this perception
No,
that
he's made that. He's had cases. He's
I don't
1000% made
listen
that
to Young
shit known.
Nudie, and I don't know really much about him, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, because my homeboy put me on like to like the shit that like he would get himself into like years ago, but that's just like the shit that made it to the news. Like there's shit that didn't like make it like to the news because he just fucking got away with the shit. So yeah.
but I think just the climate is really hot right now, especially in New York. I think the OGs got to step in. I think we need to start but people need to collectively start looking after, especially when it comes to us, people of color, especially when it comes to young black men who are broken, especially coming from the streets. Exactly who's looking after? Because rap, okay, you can use rap as like a coping mechanism, but what goes beyond that?
Yeah.
How are you looking after the mental state? Because that consistent hours in the studio just pouring out your pain, I mean, that may work, but then there's the times when you're not in the studio. What's going on? Who's looking after your best interests when you're out of the studio?
I mean, I think tapping in with local communities has always like been a big thing for rappers. I mean, like it even goes past just black rappers. You know, there are plenty of rappers out there who, you know, they go back home and they connect with people they grew up with and people who they were close with, people who, you know, who didn't make it out with them, and give back to them. And I've always felt like I think the rappers who do make that change and do go out of their way to give back to the community that gave to them is like, it teaches a really good lesson and sets a pretty good precedent going forward, because it just kind of goes to show you and remind you that, like, you know, like there is a world outside of the success that you get from hip hop that doesn't involve, you know, shooting people up and taking the hardest shit and this, that, and the third. And I think that I'm trying to think, like, what's the most recent example of someone who, like, not even just like give back to, just like be proud of their city, of like who they are from that. So I think Tyler the Creator did that on his new the Kendrick remix he did. Super proud of being from LA.
Yeah.
The West Coast particularly has been really good at kind of finding that pride. I know we talk about them all the time, but I think the Pop Out is like one of the best things that a rapper has done for a community
Yeah.
in the past 20 or so years. And I think stuff like the pop out is just like, that stuff like that, charity concerts and get-togethers and like that's the stuff that unifies the community. And I mean, like
It was just a investing as well, yeah.
it just makes sense,
Yeah.
like look in the best interest of everyone rather than of your own.
Yeah. I think definitely the best interest definitely comes in, especially with all artists, because not just black rappers or black people we're not the only ones that struggle with mental health issues. So I think just when it comes to the artists, especially knowing where they come from, I mean, me personally, I feel like I don't know what's in the contract, but I think that should just come with like you see most of these rappers like Joey Badass, G Herbo, I think they sponsor like a program for young men, basically it's like a therapy type of service. I think each contract should come with something like that. Like obviously not everybody's open to therapy, but just making sure like, hey, you know what, I want to make sure that your mental health is looked after. If you're going to a rapper and you see that Ver hooked on drugs, but you like their music, all right, you know what, I like your music, but the first thing we're gonna do is get you off those drugs.
I think the thing that scares me about that conversation is knowing damn well that a label would never go out of their way.
Right, yeah. I'm about to say.
Most they're just gonna.
That's my money. If my money machine dies, I'll go find a new one.
Yeah, that's just the money at the end.
I view this whole overall issue in three different ways, and one of the main ways I view it is the contributions of the labels are to this violence and this hatred against other black people, against themselves. The labels are encouraging it, whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
They're signing these rappers not even based off of talent, which is another thing I want to talk about after, but off of the areas they're in and how popular they are in the areas they are because of the violence. And they know that violence and conflict sells.
Yeah.
So they want to keep pushing for that stuff to happen. And it is, it's very profitable pitting black people against each other. It's been profitable in many different industries, and the music industry is no different. And they're not going to the labels themselves are never going to prevent it because they profit too much from it. Yeah. A rapper gets killed, they're making money off of them. They got their masters now. Yeah. They can release a posthumous album of the dead rapper that just got killed because of the violence they're encouraging by producing music for all these rappers. So it's a whole machine of self-destruction, and only a bunch of rich white elites are benefiting from it. So that's the first way I view the issue. And yeah.
I think being constantly on the attack, it's gonna sound weird using that in that manner, like on the attack, but like being on the attack for that part of that culture, I think is doing what you can to kind of oppose that subsection of hip hop and rap culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Going out of your way to represent yourself as somebody who's against that. Who doesn't think that, following that subculture and participating in that kind of part of hip hop is like something that should be reveled or like praised rather than something that should be booed and someone should put you down for it. I think that this idea that like, oh, if you're not a gamer, you're a fucking pussy. That's like lamest shit ever, bro. Lamest shit ever. Like, God forbid that you, as a human who, judging by the fact that you're a hip hop fan, probably haven't had the best uprising, probably haven't had the best upbringing already as it is, because you find relativity in this music that talks about the struggle. God forbid you value the human life and like care about the other people's emotions and their well-being around you. To me, like, it speaks against hip hop culture.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like what the solution is. Like, only God knows, man. It'll be a forever issue.
I have a couple of suggestions, but none of them are necessarily practical because it requires a lot of people to be on the same page.
Like what exactly?
These bigger rappers have to be 100% against it. Like, they can't just not participate in it. They have to be vocally against it.
Yeah.
We need the Kendricks and the J. Coles and the other rappers of that level.
I will say J. Cole is pretty.
J. Cole is pretty good with it, but he gets called corny because of it. But that's part of the reason why he does get called corny, is because he's against that shit.
He is corny, but not because of that.
Well, that's the thing though. This is like, as soon as like rappers, including J. Cole, call that shit out. It's like, yeah, they just get fucking called corny, or they like don't get like as much attention, or they get put in the box of like, oh, this is what they're basically known for at this point. Like years ago, like I want to say, what was it, like 2012, 2013, or like 2011 to 2013, around that time, when Logic called that shit out, people call him corny for that shit too.
Well, that's another rappers also get called corny for different reasons, but I see your point.
Yeah, but like on top of the fact, like we're not even like on top of the fact that not, which is gonna like feed into the bullshit. Like on top of the fact that like he's not only like biracial, but on top of like
but like that is like, definitely one of the reasons why he gets called corny. Cause he's not adjacent with that type of shit, and he's against.
But he's
it.
lived it though. That's
exactly.
And it's like they just think, oh, he hasn't ever lived that shit. He literally just fucking finished making a fucking song in collaboration to basically spread awareness about the iron pipeline, which is just a gun trafficking, essentially. So shit like that, it's just like, bro, when you get called corny for speaking out on like evil shit, thinking like, oh, it's like corny to be like cool and nice and shit, and it's cool to be fucking evil as fuck and do all this other stupid shit. You're like, what the fuck? That's evil as fuck. what are we doing? You got the shit mixed up. Like, no.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think we as consumers gotta like really, my personal opinion, which might be a little extreme, I don't consume that type of hip hop anymore. I've been trying to cut it all out as much as possible, and I think if a lot more people just simply didn't listen to that type of music anymore, it would lose popularity, and the labels would stop trying to promote it because it was not profitable anymore.
Yeah, and
we would go back to another thing which I think we're lacking. We'll go back to that is a lot of these people, my hot take, they're not doing music with the same level of passion that rappers used to. Well, I don't think a lot of these rappers that are getting caught in Rico cases are actually passionate about music, and that's part of the issue.
Of course, but like here's the thing though, is like I remember in the past is like yeah, you would like you sat here and said like, oh, you like music that you don't have to really like think about like too much and whatnot. It's like, yeah, you can be passionate and make music that is just bullshit and whatnot, but it's just like when you have those fucking songs from like those specific artists that just talk about a whole bunch of nothing or a whole bunch of fucking like violence and shit, talking about shit that they fucking do, or even if they're capping, fucking cap rappers.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just like when you have these people that rap about this shit, it's like, what's the point? They're making money. That's it. No passion. And
right, it's soulless.
Like you consume it, and it's like you like it. It's like at the end of the day, like even if you don't, there's gonna be like other people that will like it, and it's like that's the problem. It's like it's more than likely not gonna stop, at least not for a while, unless something drastic happens.
Yeah, I think that the drastic thing,
culture to shift again.
I think the drastic thing to happen is for a collective of people to stop encouraging it.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna get too deep in my political ideology. I'm not a fan of the prison system or prisons in general, but for lack of better words, I do think we gotta lock these niggas up.
I agree. I agree. I completely agree.
No, you're right.
No, I completely agree.
So, you're right.
Yeah, okay, so for at least the ones that genuinely deserve to be like incarcerated.
Like if you rapping about killing niggas and they're like, oh yeah, we charge you for killing 3 people down the street and putting their bodies.
It ain't free. You
should probably go to prison.
Yeah, like that's it.
Okay, actually, you know what? Just without even like getting into it like too deep at least. So how do you? I think we might have talked about this. Like, how do you feel about like using lyrics in court cases?
Yep, I knew that was gonna come up.
I think it's fair game if you actually did it. So like if they can like have clear evidence that ties directly to what you're saying to what they think you did, yeah, you should go to prison. I'm sorry. Like for Bobby Shmurda, for example, he said everything he did with names and everything, and they're like, yeah, we got evidence about everything you did with names and everything, and to connect to the song. Yeah, that's why he went to prison because he fucking did it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like
You're gonna be like him, where you're like, how the fuck, how,
Yeah.
when he was fucking getting like interviewed by, by fucking Naruto.
Like I remember I watched videos back when Hot Nigga first came out. The amount of evidence in that song is actually astonishing. Like I can't believe it. Like no. So I think using it in court is fair game unless it like has like no connection whatsoever. It's like a random. I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head. Like
If you know you're full of shit, like that's one thing.
Right.
Like, if you've done some shit in the past and they just couldn't prove it,
and they try to bring up a song that they think is somewhat related. They try to like make the dots connect by force. Nah.
Like, what was it? Who the fuck? Like other than TK, other than Bobby Shmurda, who the fuck else did they try to
Young
catch?
Thug.
Huh?
Young Thug. That's where the whole
The whole thing was based on lyrics.
Oh yeah, Young Thug, Melly.
Melly is also a good example.
Which I don't give a fuck what anyone said. I've probably said this like multiple times. That nigga did it. I don't give a
That
shit.
song is way too convenient for someone who didn't do it. So yeah,
You
I
got
agree.
multiple personalities.
Way too convenient, dog. Nah.
You got way too much bullshit, but it's just the fact that like the lack of evidence.
Wait.
That's why.
You wanna stay like kind of wide when it comes to multi personality, like be easy with that, like how you describe it.
Well, because it's like you would sit here and like people would like describe it as like, oh, that's just a gimmick that he was doing for his release, like for that upcoming album when he was gonna drop before
No, I know, but just the scope of that, like just it ain't just
What are we
bullshit.
talking about?
Like it's real thing.
Why
I was just about to ask you if we were talking about Melly yet.
That happened, so just like yes, he's guilty, but just like you gotta like tread carefully when you approach that line of mental health. That's just what I'm saying.
No, I get that. I'm just like saying though, it's just like
Because
that's the thing though. It's just like I get having mental issues, but there is like a line where it's like, when can you say that you're not like how would they describe it, like psychologists when they go to see actual people
a psych evaluation?
like an actual, when they describe someone like mentally capable or like
Yeah, that's a
there.
That's
like
a
a
fair,
psych-
Yeah, it's evaluation. Yeah.
It's like eval.
Yeah, when they
Probably
do
not like
that.
going to fucking therapy, bro.
Yeah, when they do a full evaluation to see if they're like mentally competent, to like have known what they were doing at whatever time period, et cetera, et cetera.
But that sometimes results in no jail time.
That's another thing I was
Yeah,
thinking.
that's,
If the prosecute if he says he has mental health issues on a song, and the prosecution is trying to use his song against him, his lawyer could easily pull him and be like, "Yeah, he's clearly insane. He said it right here," and they can have someone evaluate him and confirm that he has the same mental illness that he said in the song. Then they could have a case for that.
But that's tricky as well because
It's a song.
At the end of the day,
I wake up
Niggas
in
can
the
lie.
morning, I got
and as much as you can evaluate somebody, you can lie.
Yeah.
You
But-
can.
I mean, you can
To an extent,
but that's their
depending on the
job.
person.
That's their job to really know like whether or not we're lying.
Yeah.
Or not.
So
It's
I
not-
think from a
They can because
It's
They do
not,
lie.
They don't have it. It's not like you can 1,000% tell if somebody's lying. It's like there's no like 1,000% foolproof way of knowing.
no,
something.
you can't.
So my final answer for if music can be used, I think it should be, but the standard of proof of it connecting to the case needs to be way higher than other evidence.
Yeah.
Because
You can say anything about anyone.
right,
Yeah.
like that's why I said Bobby Shmurda is the perfect example because he said names of niggas that are actually connected in the case they're trying to charge him with.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty clear connection right there.
But then you can get to the point where it's like you're twisting people's words.
Exactly.
For the point of like calling them out.
So I think it can be good evidence, but they have to have a higher standard of proof for if the evidence relates or not. But I mean, a lot of people getting Rico cases and all the songs about killing people, they probably did it, you know. So
Yeah, and it's the ones, it's just crazy because like even some of the OGs that like they never got caught or like for the shit that they've probably done in their past and
right,
because they know. The OGs know how to move.
It's not even just like knowing how to move. It's like they just had somebody take the fall for them.
well, a lot of the OGs also know how.
That's
like,
knowing how to move.
like for example.
No. I get what you mean, brother. It's like it's just the simple fact of the matter is like shit wasn't like as advanced as we had back now. It's like it was easier to just trick some people back then.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're gonna rap about crimes, rap about some ones though the jail time's not like 25 to life or some shit. Like,
well, that shit changes as time progresses.
Doing
now,
120 on the freeway.
Right? Like, yeah, like.
Because before you get caught with weed,
Oh yeah, back
book. Like, but now it's kind of different. It's like, but at least when murder and other shit, that's relatively the fucking same.
Like rap about some shit where the statute of limitations are up, so they can't charge you even if they can prove you did it. Like 21 Savage wanted to interview one time and said a crime he was a kid, and they can't charge him for that because the statute of limitations is far gone. So like that works. Talk about
15 years. Right?
Yeah, I think for something that he did for stealing or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Or talk about some shit you already did and got charged for or whatever. That works too. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of the cocaine rappers have already faced cases for it, so they can speak about it freely because it's like, hey man, it already happened.
Like Pusha T, has he been to jail for that shit, or has he got caught for it?
If he hasn't, he's doing the thing. He's doing it the correct way. You see how he's how he's talking about. You see how he's talking about his past, and they didn't charge him with shit. That's somebody who's smart.
Bro wrote the manual.
He wrote the script, the Bible on cocaine.
I just reposted something today about what West Side Gun was his bar was like. Have you ever put half a brick in an air fryer? You don't see anybody in Griselda get hit. You don't see Griselda get hit with a Rico. So like,
nah, they have though.
Have they?
Yeah,
really?
No, Benny. Yeah, Benny. No.
Oh yeah, Benny.
Oh yeah, Benny. Yeah,
No, watch his ass.
Benny caught a case. Benny caught a case.
Yeah, Benny. Yeah, but
West never caught. No, West never caught a case.
West wasn't. I think West.
West and Con never.
Fuck if I know.
But you see,
I don't know. But
if they was moving the same way that a lot of these other like newer rappers were, the whole crew be in jail like 5 years ago. So
I mean,
but we definitely got eyes on Griselda though. Definitely got eyes on him.
100%.
Benny did say that.
I mean, what like, and not necessarily just like a Rico case or like I forgot what the fuck it was. I mean, like Ghostface Killer, like he wore masks. He wore that mask on stage to avoid the police.
Yeah.
No,
I think nobody even knew what he looked like.
Ghostface used to be moving like crazy, bro.
But that was back in the 90s though. They just knew you don't do certain things.
I heard stories of that dude. He used to light niggas' beards on fire. Like
What the fuck?
Nowadays, like
nah, but nah. But and I mean, I'd actually argue on the Griselda point, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Bro, I'm out of it.
I'd argue on the Griselda point, right? Mm-hmm. The Griselda people are actually care about music, so I think it's a little different.
Well,
or maybe just my bias. I like their music more.
we like Griselda here, so
Yeah.
we can like Griselda more, but we don't have to be like.
Yeah, it's cool they're selling drugs to the community.
yeah,
That shit,
we still gotta
Like, if West was pushing shit, I would not be surprised.
yeah. And like you can like the music and still think the person should probably be
Like you kind of like if you know how to make cocaine, like West Side Gun says he knows how to make cocaine.
and you get caught selling cocaine.
And you get caught selling
and they try to charge
cocaine.
you selling cocaine. I'm not gonna be like
I'm not gonna be like,
Yo,
well,
free-
what the free West? He didn't do nothing. I
it's
mean,
like dog.
he probably did do
He
something.
probably did, yeah.
He probably did do something.
I hate that shit at the same time. It's like when motherfuckers is talking about like, oh, free my man. He just can't or something. No, let the system keep that nigga. Like, no, fuck that.
Free
shit.
King Von.
It gotta
No.
it gotta be a small crime. Like, it gotta be like a small,
I
almost
remember
victimless
seeing
crime.
those memes, bro. It's just like, bro, like
Keep him in jail,
keep
man.
that motherfucker in jail. What the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
you
what I'm
mean?
saying.
I think free the people saying free take is was the first time I realized. Nah, you niggas are crazy. Let me free that dude.
I love when it's
people
like,
say
I love when
free
it's like
take
not like a
too.
famous person. It's like if someone
Oh my
like
God.
in the community where I'm like, oh, what do they do? It's like a couple felonies, you know, like
Yeah.
killed a couple people. pushing drugs.
You know, got caught with a gun on them.
Got
and
caught with a gun on
everything.
them. Tried to kill a cop.
Yeah, he was just doing human trafficking. Nothing too.
But yeah,
serious.
free him.
Free that motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a bunch of young guys, young street guys that are broken with guns and money. Nothing, no good comes out of that.
Yeah, give the guns to the not broken guys and see what happens.
Well, even then, it's like even.
I guess I'll just get broken.
Well, it depends. Because I mean, like even with money, they could just end up broken afterwards as well. Like no, I'm just.
Are we gonna get into the how does money corrupt the human brain conversation?
Nah.
That's
a deeper.
Hilly want to keep going down rabbit hole.
I'm operating on like 2 hours of sleep, bro. I fall asleep like.
All right, we got enough miles off this topic. So
Yeah, I think we nailed it.
Can we move on to something else so I can wake up, bro?
Yeah.
So then, all right. So then the last thing, what did you have?
No, there's two other things.
There's two other
It was
things.
the underground one and then
it was like what?
the third one, which is I think we should save the third one for last because of the answer for the question.
Okay.
The third one was the one that you asked if you had 20 minutes.
20 minutes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would we define the underground, and how would we define? Actually, no, it wasn't even. It was a two-part.
It was a two-part question. You want me to I was looking at it
I have
earlier.
it up. It was like, how do we know when the underground rap turns mainstream? Is it the sound, the flow, the way they start carrying themselves, connections in the industry? What is defined as underground and what is mainstream?
Yeah.
So I actually think the main thing that turns somebody mainstream for me is when they start. It all comes in the features, I think. Because I think you can go mainstream without having all of your sound taken away. For me, like the prime example of that is like Yeet is a really big example of that. Even Cardi, you could say, is like a main example of that. There are plenty of people who go mainstream that don't have their sound taken away from them.
Yeah.
But I think it's when you start getting those features. You know, as soon as Yo Ass is on a song with Dua Lipa, you do that. You fucking made it, bro. You know, it's like as soon as I see featuring fucking who's another random pop artist who just collabs with mad fucking rappers for featuring Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, Imagine Dragons. Yeah.
Like
shit, I don't know. Like a pop artist that.
I think it's as soon as you start doing feature collabs, or it's like all of a sudden Drake's on your song, or like all of a sudden you have 21 Savage on your music. All of a sudden, like Lil Baby wants to work with you. That's when I'm like, okay, this person's starting to pick up a little bit of steam here and there. Or it's like after like a big song, after someone really blows up, the first thing they do after like they win a Grammy or something is they go make a fucking song with somebody, or it's just a remix of a song that they've already made with someone else hopping on it. Like I'd be fucking shocked if we didn't get a fucking Doechii remix with some.
Did you fucking see that Chris Brown like got on a remix of Mutt?
Oh no!
It sounds fucking.
The Leon Thomas song.
Wait, who? That's like a rumble rap type of like hardcore shit, right?
No. Mutt's like a nice smooth little R&B cut. Like,
like he got featured. He dropped the feature with Chris Brown.
No.
When will these niggas learn?
When I listen
Stop
to it,
working with Chris Brown.
Yo,
please.
No, it's not even that. It's just like when I listened to it, I was like, this shit isn't his speed. Like, why the fuck is he even on this song? It's like the beat is.
Yeah, this is meant for like women.
No, it's not even.
And we know how he feels about women.
It's just the fact that, like, if you like legit listen to it, it doesn't like he can't like really catch on to it that well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's doing his normal thing of singing and whatnot, but it's like it just doesn't feel right for him to like be on that. It doesn't sound like it's for him, you know. That's another thing motherfuckers gotta stop doing is just like hopping on beats,
forcing flows.
and it does not match them. Like
I'm trying to think of like remixes that came out. Like you know how the cycle of a song is like, song comes out, song goes viral, song gets recognized. Boom, Drake's on your song. like someone random like all of a sudden is on your song. Brockhampton, they had one song blow up and all of a sudden Dua Lipa was on the remix. I feel like that's when you're like, okay, this is your entry into the mainstream.
Yeah.
It's either that or you just get shot right into it.
Yeah, it usually.
That's the one of two ways. Either you're shot directly into the mainstream, like
or you
fucking
get a
head
good amount of
first,
features, and then
or
after
you
that-
slowly start building up.
Yeah.
I think Tizo Touchdown is another example of somebody who is kind of guiding his way into the mainstream, because first it was Tyler, and then then it was Drake, and then it was Tyler again, and then it was Travis Scott, and then he got his first solo album released. When people start recognizing your name without even having work put out yet, like that's like a sign of like you're going mainstream, which I think is like super interesting. Like nobody knew who Tizo Touchdown was, but like, they were just like, oh, this is that fucking weird guy from the Tyler the Creator songs. I fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
And it's like eventually, like by the time Utopia came out, everyone was like, oh, that's Tizo Touchdown right there, even though he'd never put out a lick of a studio album yet. So I think that to me, like that's what separates the underground from the mainstream. Is are you willing to reach out your hand and connect yourself to the mainstream?
So how would you define MF Doom? Because
He's still an underground artist.
Yeah.
To me, he's still an underground artist.
Okay.
Because
He
I
was
also
known
still
by-
think that MF Doom doesn't really have the recognition that
He deserves.
he deserves, and two that you would expect from a mainstream artist.
Well, that's the thing though, because it's like there's a lot of shit like while he was alive during the time that like he's done dirty to some people like that really made him like be hated around like certain circles.
You said he's done dirt to people?
Yeah.
Well, he's been through a lot of horrible shit too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too. But like I'm talking about like more so like his younger years.
Oh, yeah.
Prior to like any of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What's it called? If the day we ever get James back on.
I mean, he told me about Grimm, and
And like the
he's
whole
what
like,
he was
the Mask
into.
collective. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that dude.
Yeah, that was like all the shit that he was telling me about that shit too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
I think as an artist, you can refuse your way. You can refuse being mainstream without having to, without giving up the album sales, without giving up the.
I think Doom's
like-
mystique is what. Cause I
Yeah, the
I think, I
mystique's a
think
huge
Doom
part.
is mainstream to the point where a large majority of people do know.
People, yeah, like he has a mainstream level of audience.
yeah, but he
Yeah.
remains.
But
he
his-
get that
underground.
mystique.
Yeah.
he get that underground mystique. Okay, yeah.
And there's ones that just refuse at all. Because, like, with mainstream, like, the big thing that's been, pushed, for, ages, it was, to make it mainstream, you fucking sign the big contract.
Yeah, you
So
get
it is like-
you sign to fucking like
Yeah.
UMG or you sign
You sign
to
to a fucking label. And it's like,
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
people that have reached, like, close to, if not mainstream levels, that, are independent, that, refuse to sign to, like, labels and shit, and they're doing, kind of fine, even though they're, like, I would say underground, but they're just not completely the mainstream level yet. Like, I don't know if you know, like, Token.
I know.
Yeah, so Token.
Mavi's another name I think of
Mavi,
too.
yeah.
Where I think the Mavi could easily go mainstream
Yeah.
if he wanted to, but I think he chooses to stay
Yeah.
underground.
So it's like, motherfuckers like those, like, they refuse to, sign to a label. They do them as, like, they're, underground. They have their audience, but on occasion you'll see them, out and about, and pop out on bigger stages. Who else would be, like, someone who refuses?
To go mainstream.
Yeah, that refuses to go mainstream. Or, like, refuses to go to, like, a label to become mainstream.
I think Vince is still underground.
Yeah. I was about Vince, Zell.
Yeah.
Then,
Denzel Curry.
really?
I think Zell is more underground than he should be.
I thought he was signed to a label.
I mean, I don't know
Is
what
he?
he's signed to, honestly.
I thought Denzel was signed to. I thought he was signed to Atlantic.
Oh,
He
is
might
it
be.
Atlantic?
Is he in Atlanta? I think Vince is more underground than Zell.
Yeah.
But to me, I think Zell and Vince are in the same kind of level of.
Oh wait, hold on. So it's Loma Vista Recordings.
I ain't never heard no.
Yeah, that's
He
Concord
probably
Music
came up with that
Publishing.
shit himself. Bro.
Yeah. Okay. So
Made that shit.
yeah, no,
up.
he's indie. He's
Yeah,
indie.
I would say like those two are definitely like the biggest underground names.
Yeah.
It's like, how often do you get like Vince Staples or Denzel Curry feature on like a major album release? You know, are you ever gonna see Zell or Vince on a fucking Travis Scott feature list? Or are you ever gonna see them on like a Weekend feature list? You ever gonna see them on like a
Whoa.
fucking
The style of music that they make would definitely, at least for
exactly? That's what I mean.
for Weekend, no. For Travis, probably like Zell.
Yeah, I think.
I guess like would you count the Griselda guys as still?
We're still underground.
You see,
Still
I
underground?
look at it as 3 levels, right? I think there's underground, there's mainstream, and then in between the two, I guess I would say niche, for lack of better words. Like, they're big within their own collective little communities,
JPEG Mafia.
but they're not. Yeah, JPEG Mafia is a perfect example, actually.
Okay.
Because I think there's a certain
Danny
limit of how
Brown.
big your fan base can be before I can like fully consider you underground.
Danny Brown, another example maybe.
Niche, yeah, exactly. Because
Danny Brown's hella niche.
right,
'Cause he has his audience, but at the same time, who do you see like outside of like people who really know Danny Brown? Really
be like, yo, put on that Danny Brown.
Yeah.
It's niche.
Danny Brown had a chance to go mainstream, but his
that
style,
was
because he was
years ago. That's
Yeah.
when he made Drip.
because
Yeah.
he was supposed to be with 50 Cent, but because he was wearing those jeans, those tight jeans, 50 was like, nah, I ain't rocking with it.
It was just like as soon as Drip came out, that song kind of I kind of like hated that song on the low because it's like it would just come on so damn much at the time.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at that fucking stupid.
For real though.
No, it's just fucking stupid. Like, it's stupid because I know it's true. That's why it's fucking stupid.
I can just hear him saying
I
some
can't.
shit.
Them G's is too fucking tight, man.
Yeah, what you doing?
Because Danny was really like a rapper. Like he really could rap his ass off. And he still can too. But the ass was just too tight.
Them shits was too tight, man.
Nah, bro, we got. I think the homophobia in hip hop is and like the homophobic adjacent views of hip hop is something that has to be discussed in a future
Nah,
episode.
someday, man.
Another group I would say probably like what?
That's what, underground or niche?
I'm not 100% sure. Earth Gang?
Earth Gang, you could say that.
Yeah, you can make an argument for either underground or niche. I'm more leaning towards niche
think
because
niche.
like
Yeah.
they're under a fairly well known.
Dreamville,
Yeah. I would say if I had to name like the most well known people in Dreamville, the only people above them I would say is JID and J. Cole. That's it.
Yeah, and those two are the mainstream ones.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every one of those like label groups. I think why am I forgetting the like?
And Boz.
Why am I
Boz.
forgetting that fucking record? Oh, TDEs. God damn.
Top dog.
Like TDE like has like you could very visibly see the levels of
Yeah.
mainstream
It
down
was-
to
it was, before he left, it was just Q and Kendrick.
it was Q and Kendrick.
And
Well, now they got their own new fucking
yeah, now it's just Q.
no.
SZA and
Oh wait.
SZA?
Yeah, SZA.
J
Doe.
Rock.
Dochi's TDE.
J Rock.
He gotta be lower than that. J Rock.
Oh, you talking about like people that
Mainstream.
have? Oh,
Like,
okay,
alright,
yeah.
we're talking about
Yeah,
like
okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
level. they're
Dochi's
at.
mainstream now.
Yeah,
Doechii
Doechii,
100%.
Doechii, okay,
Q.
so Doechii SZA. I would say then J Rock.
Q.
I think Q's more popular than J Rock.
Yeah,
this
no, I
current
think J
moment.
Rock's
So
Yeah.
then, all right. So Doechii SZA, Q, J Rock.
Are you guys
SZA.
counting Q as mainstream?
No, I don't think he's main. I think he's actually closer to niche than he is mainstream.
I was
Really?
gonna say I don't think
Yeah.
Q's mainstream like
I
that.
think
bro.
I think he
Well, 'cause-
was mainstream in 2012.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when he was still
Oxymoron dropped, definitely.
like if we're talking like if we're talking early 2010s Schoolboy Q, then like
Man of the
you
Because he
year.
was
you hear Man of the
still-
Year and Collard Greens playing every day. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Schoolboy Q
I mean,
was
when
mainstream.
Crash Dummy came out, I was just like, yeah, he was still fine, you know.
Yeah, but it was like niche
Crash
because
Talk, yeah,
Oh, no, Crash Talk, yeah, Crash Talk.
like you,
Crash Talk.
I mean, dude, Blue Lips wasn't even fucking nominated for a fucking
right,
Grammy, man.
and the album was fucking really good.
If
I
if
did
if
not-
Schoolboy Q was
I
mainstream,
still
he would have
not
been
listened to
nominated.
that album.
You still
That
didn't
album's
listen to it?
fucking
Yeah, I still
tough,
listened
bro.
to it. I still got. I got
That album is
That album
fucking
snaps.
nasty from beginning to
Snaps.
end.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll give.
Give that shit a listen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like the underground mainstream conversation. I
I
think.
think so. Yeah.
All right, you want to get into last question here
What
then?
was
Yep.
it? Fucking-
You have 20 minutes to live, and you need to.
To
20
live
minutes before you die,
Yeah.
you need to make a fire song. Who's the artist? Who's the producer? And who's the singer? And it has to be people that are alive.
Artist, producer, singer. And
Yeah.
Artist, producer, singer.
Do I need to make a hit or do I need to make a like something that I would fuck with? There's different. I can make a hit right now.
Yeah, I can make a hit too. But it's a song. Yeah, I agree.
Something. All right. So I would probably add the stipulation that something that would be your speed, like what you would want
Okay.
to make.
Okay.
What's funny is I still
Your
think that
genuine vision.
My
those
genuine
answers
vision.
would line up for me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I would have a Kendrick Lamar rap song with a Weekend feature produced by Metro Boomin.
Okay. So that. What about you, Pat?
I think my answer, regardless, will always be Kendrick. I think
I think Kendrick's probably the safest bet. Yeah.
Why were you guys gonna choose Kendrick too?
No, I was gonna just gonna be fucking doing my own thing. I had options in my mind.
That's fine.
Yeah, I am
Yeah,
doing my
yeah.
own thing. My own thing, Kendrick.
Because y'all motherfuckers just like Golden Globe Awards fucking.
You go with yours. I'm still thinking about mine.
All right, so let's run this back one more time. Pat,
Tyler, SZA, Pharrell.
Lupe, Daniel Caesar, Anderson .Paak.
Kendrick, Jill Scott, Alchemist.
T-Pain,
Other way around.
Amine. Oh, well,
Well, yeah.
okay. So Amine, K-Tronada, T-Pain.
He still did it wrong.
What? Did I still do it wrong? What you said? Wait, hold, bitch. I'm looking at the fucking list.
We did rapper,
Rapper, producer.
No, rapper,
singer, producer.
Because he went Tyler SZA, who's yours?
Pharrell.
And then,
And then-
I went Lupe, Daniel Caesar, Pac, and then he went
Kendrick,
Kendrick.
Jill, Alchemist.
Okay, so Amine, T-Pain, and K-Tronada.
Cool.
Oh,
Fuck y'all.
Yo.
I went 2 hours of sleep. I can't do this episode.
oh man.
Delete this shit.
Fucking
Any other announcement? I have one announcement to make. If anyone wants to make one before that, though, because I don't know if we have anything else we want to announce.
We're still working on the EP. Should have a single coming out soon.
I dropped a single 2 days ago called "Certain." It's on streaming now. Check it out. Bayani, Bayani. It was my girlfriend's birthday present. Probably could have mixed it better, but
You did not promote that shit because I did not see.
It was a birthday surprise,
Oh, okay.
so I didn't promote it. That's why I'm promoting it now.
This is a promotion.
Can you put that on like your story?
Yeah, on the day it came out.
Yeah. 'Cause I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I just
That was a birthday surprise. But I have that, and then nothing's really changed. I might just release singles for the fucking hell of it because I'm bored.
Alright, guys, you're listening to us, Speakerboxx Studios.
Who let this
My name's
motherfucker-
Hilly. What?
nah. That shit had no fucking energy, bro.
said
Up
who?
that shit.
Who said this motherfucker could do
Up
that?
that shit.
You fucking.
All right.
You introduced
All
us
right.
this week.
All right.
You
All right.
close us
All
out
right.
this
Give
week,
it all.
motherfucker.
Yes. Imagine just beating his beat. We just open the door without asking. Like,
Just break the fourth wall. Casually break the fourth wall.
Dave, you should have, like, bro could have been jorking it.
Want
You
him to
didn't
be
even know.
in the outro again? He's really not gonna be in the shot this time.
All right.
'Cause the cameras-
All right, I'll sit on your lap this time. Didn't work. This is all right. This is Speakerboxx. It happened. I'm Aiden. I'm the host. To my left is this guy Gio.
To my left is,
Pat.
and to Aiden's right,
Sean.
and to Aiden's right,
Hilly.
and what are you pointing at?
Hilly.
Oh.
What the hell's
We're
wrong?
Speakerboxx Studios.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next week.
Peace.
Yes.
Peace.